2, 1. Hi! Welcome to Paint by Minis, a special episode with myself and Dan here. We have a lot of minis to paint, very little time. So here we are. Yeah, welcome.
Steph, question.
Yes, correct.
And I don't know if this will work because you're doing the magic here.
Yeah.
I feel like I look like 3 times your size, and my head is just consuming the whole space. Is there any way? Hey, Sassy Chassie.
Hey.
Is there any way that you could capture more, but shrink it?
The way that the little things are set up, like you'd almost have to zoom out on your camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll look at that. Thanks.
It's the way that it's like cut. Like I'll double check
Gotcha.
here, Dan, just to make sure.
Nope, that's fine. I can do that on this side. Savvy, how are you? You having a good evening? Yeah. Yeah. This is Steph.
Hi.
Usually, let's see. Usually, Paint by Minis is Christy sharing some insights with Steph and mini painting. But since I have my own, print thing, we usually do Mad Indie Game Time today, but we've got some other stuff going on, so we're here to work on mini painting. And hey, Danny, I finished your giveaway mini on Monday. Doing pretty well. Yeah, today's an all right day, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, because it's like a square, Dan, and it has that kind of extra little ripped effect to the outer edge. I have you where it can be pretty much.
Okay. I'm gonna see if this program wants to run despite being in that, and then I'm just gonna zoom out a little bit.
I mean, I can zoom in, but I know that my head will most likely disappear.
Oh gosh. No. Painting. I think it'd be better if it's just, is it this one? Oh, that's the other camera.
Oh, where did your painting camera go?
Oops. And zoom out a touch.
Okay, let me see what's going on here. Oh, it's because I covered it completely with Streamlabs. We're fine. It's back.
Oh, right. You had a day off today, Savvy, right? Today and yesterday? No, today and tomorrow, right? Yesterday was the end of your crazy town shift. I guess we... Well, okay. You've made my day again then. Thank you. I'm growing this side out, so it's extra fuzzy right now. Growing the back out here and just keeping this side shade. So today, tomorrow, good. I hope you were able to enjoy the day today. Danny, if in the process of this, when I get up again, which I'll undoubtedly do, I'll go grab them in so you can see. I think it's Zell Caber of the Cobalt Soul. Is that right? Oh, Trilena, hi. Thank you for the hydrate. I think it came out pretty well.
It turned out very well, Danny.
Oh. Able to preserve all the cutness of the monk's build. APS my day is almost done.
Ooh.
Good job.
Oh, Stephanie, that's embarrassing.
Oh, good. All right, I think my wet palette's pretty wet, and I don't know if I want to. Wait.
Is it too wet?
I mean, I'd like to say there's no such thing, but when it comes to this is it's gonna. My paint's gonna go everywhere. And this is just gonna disperse. All right, I think that's a little better. I think we're in better
All
shape.
right. I have
Oh
to
yeah,
decide what
that's
I want to paint.
hmm.
Nice.
So I've got a Gracchus here for a Saturday night campaign. I should get ready for class, so probably will lurk. Okay, Trilena, take care. Thanks for lurking. I have a Gracchus here for Saturday night's campaign. I got started a little bit the other day. Yeah, let me just close this other thing out since I zoomed out to a more human, proportionate level. So that's better. I've got the pants done. He's got a lot of black attire underneath. Sort of Western vibe here with a duster, and but it doesn't really use a firearm. He's got a sword, some magic. It's got a lot of red, so where even is this camera? I'm so sorry. Yeah, I guess it's just the way it has to be cropped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There's even less room for me to focus on these. But yeah, they'll be red on top of these. They're sort of the black and darker undertones of the wings and such. It's a bit of an more of an ashy black for the skeletal structure in the wings here. It's effectively black mixed with some of that red. Just this little bit of a brownish, ashy here. So we'll move it on. The Gracchus today. What are you working on, Steph? Nothing. There's nothing on there.
Well, I'm just giving my primer a shake right now. Don't mind me. I'm just over here just getting it done.
Nice. Savvy. No, I finished. I primed it, but that's going to be a whole project. There's so much fine detail on the warships. That's also for Saturday night's campaign. I'm very excited to get those done.
I am. Well, I have my Forsaken minis. That I will be. I need to prime things, and
Okay.
if I can get everything primed, then we'll be good to go. For I also have trees. These trees that I bought. Little logs, some trees, some stumps, some ones that are standing up. Yeah, so plenty of. That's a lot of trees.
Oh, so, look at that.
Yeah,
that's
I have like
stand, is it?
two. Oh no, yeah. There's quite a few of them. So I have plenty of stuff to prime to get started for painting. And to start painting one when those dry. So I'm sure once I get through all the priming, by the time I get done with that, then it'll be something will be dry for me to start painting one. So
nice.
Yeah.
All right, now we'll be back. I gotta step up for just a moment.
Sure.
Ooh, shit, and I think I'll grab the other mini, Danny's mini.
Get that mini. Get it! Oh, that's super weird, but okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of priming is happening today. Hopefully everyone's having a decent... I will also lurk a little and go wash some sheets. Absolutely sassy. Sounds good. Trying to get focus on these minis as good as possible. not quite working, is it? Is it? It's okay. It's okay. I am doing all right. How are you, Steph? I'm doing okay. Doing all right.
All right. Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. Let me just see what's...
Little down.
The small space on the window video is here that I can actually show this. This is ridiculous. Is it always like this?
Yeah.
It's like an eighth of my screen that actually shows up on stream.
Yeah.
Like, let me just pull this back because I feel like there's so much more height here, though. Is this just super cropped too? Because it looks like there's tons of height.
I'll take a look. Well, again, it's that weird. It's just that they're so like the blocks are so like kind of off kilter. But I'll double check with yours.
Thanks. Yeah, because like I'm looking at the height because figuring okay maybe it's the height, but there's like another 2 inches of space above at Gracchus, and then like 3 times as much below. That's not on here. So. And plenty of width because it's white screen.
So, as far as height goes, Dan?
No. What's that stuff?
As far as height goes, that's as good as I can do without running into the videos at the top of the screen.
That's so wild because it shows so much.
Yeah.
And at the bottom too, like it's got the corner of my pan.
It's right there. It's right there at the very corner of the block.
All right, because I see like a whole corner of my pan, but it's just a very tippity top in the capture.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can barely even see my what do you call it? Boop. The wet palette.
I mean, I can push it over, but then your minis are going to be over more towards the left.
No, just like the top and bottom, like.
Yeah,
it looks like there's more of the bottom that could be revealed. And then that could be resized. Sorry, Steph.
No, you're fine. No, I just
like it's just capturing.
It's very it's just difficult. Also with the blocks because it's not a straight line, it's kind of like curved. Where is it at? Okay. So yeah, this right here, I have it fixed now.
All right, and that's as high as it goes, or it'll go into the...
That's exactly. And the bottom is as low as it will go.
All right, that's much better though still. Thank you very much. I've got a much larger space here. I can focus these things on. Thank you.
Oh, whoops.
Appreciated.
Oh yeah.
I think... So hopefully it'll stay focused on this, Danny. But yeah, here they are. Zell Caber of the Cobalt Soul. Hopefully it's going to pick up some decent detail. Good. Kept that cool midriff cut there. We got some of the floofy cloth around the arm cutouts. Bands and stuff. We've got try to get the extra detail on the belt and such that you have in there. So yeah, here we go.
So good.
Oh, thanks. All right. Okay, so I actually need to get my mixers out because this particular doesn't have a mixer yet, a mixing ball. And they're so handy.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
Oh gosh, Steph. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing, especially for these acrylic paints. So it's really just a little ball bearing. Let me see if I can get one in my hand here to show on camera so you can see. It's just a steel ball bearing. Hopefully this is
Yeah, it's
showing up in the camera. Okay, all right, good. Here we go. All right. And it just goes inside the paint, and it does an amazing job of mixing things up, sort of like aerosol cans of spray paint. You know, you hear the two large ball bearings shaking when you shake it around. But it mixes the paint so well.
Okay.
And I use like the Army Painter and what's the other one? Game Color paints are what I have so far, what I've used so far. And they do a pretty good job of you know, they like to separate, I think, like all acrylic paints. But, you know, without these, sometimes it gets tricky and I get a little goop or a little, you know, some clumps.
Sure, yeah.
Which translate directly, you know, they're so obvious.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, yeah, it seems like it could work well. Unfortunately, the paints that I have are tubed.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, that's a really cool idea.
Thanks. I got a huge box of, you know, like a few months ago of 100 different war paints, including like some extra washes and stuff. So
it's awesome.
Thanks, Zen, and good afternoon on this fine Wednesday, I believe.
Hey Zen, have you not seen our Paint by Minis show before? I mean, it's not usually today, it's usually on Thursdays, but we had minis to paint, so we decided to just take over the channel.
Yeah, that's it. All minis all the time. I'm not gonna lie, I have plenty of successful channels like that.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, you're working on Kazeel.
Yeah. Nice. Getting that first layer of primer on him.
Ah, cool. All right, so Agragas has it's a red color to his skin, but it has a strong tinge of like a lava orange in there too.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's exciting. I think I might have quite enough here. Let's get that moistened back up. I forgot this was the
same layout. Oh yeah, I thought you had seen us in Paint by Minis before. Been a month or more since I saw the last Paint by Minis show. Well, we haven't had it for a few weeks, so due to a few things.
1, 2. I'm gonna do 2 parts lava orange to 1 part
Lily. She can't hear me, but I have to say it.
Oh, Steph says hi.
So you're doing 2 parts of what, Dan? I'm sorry.
It's fine.
What are you?
Just kidding.
2 parts of what?
2 parts lava orange with, 1 part lava orange to 2 parts dragon red. Let's see if that gets us the color we're looking for Agragas's skin tone. I think it's going to be a little too much orange. So let me adjust. Let's see. Here should be 6. We'll do it was a 1-to-2 ratio, actually. 1 lava orange to 2 dragon red. I'm changing it to a 1-to-3 ratio to bring a little more red back in. Here's that orange really just took over.
Do you remember that, or are you writing it down?
I'll remember that, yeah. Because I'll just, I don't know, whatever reason, it's one of those things that just sticks in my head. I think because I've got it's like a little troubleshooting problem. It's like a little equation to figure out. And so once I figure out, I'm like, that's it. It just kind of sticks. Yeah, I think that's out. I think we're there. And adjust it a little with a wash at the end if we need to. All right, and we don't want. What about this? We'll cut in a little bit here. All right, so pretty right around this. I don't want to overlap. Wait, where's this showing up on stream so I can? I might take a fresh look at the layout for y'all because this is.
Yeah. That is
like,
as
it's just
good
way
as
too.
It gets for you.
Yeah. Which is so bizarre because I can see like most of your desk.
I think because I'm more zoomed out than you are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Miles. Okay, so we're just gonna come a little bit here.
Oh. Gotta get Kazil's armpit.
Yeah.
Can't forget that.
Mm-hmm. Prime spot for his OnlyFans.
Jesus.
Well, it's Wednesdays. We have Penumbra tonight. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right. Currently, and I really hope that this is like on screen. I'm so sorry, viewers, if this keeps floating off screen. It's just zooming out. This is it. This is it for this one.
Oh, it's done?
No. This is it for zooming out.
Oh, yeah.
Saying. Let me see if I can readjust the arm here maybe and just kind of
Dan's having to reconfigure his entire setup just to get it
for real
in this frame.
There's I gotta hold it just right now. There's no room for wiggle whatsoever.
I know. All right, I think that we're done with the priming on Kazil. We'll let that dry and just kind of hold this one. Now we got Juniper that will be priming. Let me see if I can adjust the light here.
Nice. Oh yeah, there's Junie. All right, I'm gonna try and carefully get in. I'm gonna cut right against where I've got the black for now, and a little later I'll come back and sort of do some dry brushing to work that out and get a nice overlap in so it's not so clean cut.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, up here. The black first, I feel like there's sometimes, at least within when using VFX and things like that, there's little tiny things we can tell something just doesn't look right, and we don't always know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But our brains are really good at being no, that's not how that looks.
Yeah.
When you see CGI and it's ooh,
yeah,
something's wrong here. That looks too plastic, or there's no subsurface scattering. When light shines through an ear, it turns a little red, and you can see a little, off stuff like that. But that's missing. That subsurface scattering. Forget it. So, Same thing, I feel like with brush strokes and things like that, if they're not going with a natural flow, you know, if I'm painting a leg and I'm going side to side, it doesn't really, you know, I try and paint along the muscles. Jeez, what do I need to hold this thing? And in the same way, I wanted to put the black beneath the red because it felt like the red is the color and the black is sort of like a hue that kind of peeks through from underneath.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So whether that actually makes a difference, I don't know.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, yeah, we'll
I
just.
I think it would. I think it would. It's the same thing as like painters doing underpaintings. I mean, underpaintings for pieces. That it will give it a completely. I think I said this in Drawing Dan once. Like it'll give it a completely different effect if you say, like, you're doing a still life and you underpaint in black as opposed to doing an underpainting in blue. Because that underpainting can also act as like a mid-tone.
Gotcha.
So, you know, you underpaint in blue and you'll get these really cool, like, interesting, like, if you are doing it right, get these cool, interesting, like, blue, like, undertones to it.
That's really neat.
So yeah, I totally think that you're on the right track.
Nice. All right, good.
Oh.
Can't actually be able to make it tonight. So it was a penumbra. So nothing else I can do until Saturday.
Ooh.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? It sounds like it could either be a nice, relaxing vacation or like something good in case I missed anything in Discord. I mean, I hope everything's okay, and I hope it's chill. Either way, it sounds like a silver lining if it's not, you know, something relaxing, be able to hang out. Or really, you know, I mean, I don't know, we just really ended up with good crews across the board here in our D&D games. Painting at Gracchus makes me think of the Sandman, because I was watching the Sandman while I was doing this before.
Yeah.
So now that memory's attached. There we go. Sorry, I think everyone's getting just a blank space with nothing as I'm painting this.
They can see it.
Really quite terrible. I moved it now, but yeah, I'm very sorry. Please feel free to let me know in chat.
Yeah. I didn't realize.
Oh gosh, oh Danny, I'm so sorry.
Hopefully you're doing okay.
Yeah, I hope I know some places will give that like paid or give you like 3 days of pay or something if you took the test and you have the positive result. I hope that's the case for you. I hope it's the case for everybody. But I mean, either way, I'm so sorry. How are you feeling? Are you holding up all right? Sometimes it hits really hard. Other times, some folks, you know, you get a version where it's not as bad. Don't pay the lead plumber. Sandman. Oh my gosh. And I'm better than I was over the weekend. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm sorry that the weekend was so completely shitty. I imagine it must have been pretty rough. I know with all the things we have now, the vaccine and all that, it's not like, for most people, it's not as life-threatening. Of course, we can still pass it to people who it is life-threatening for. But I'm glad that in general, it's still really nasty. I don't know that I've really heard anyone be like, well, that wasn't bad.
Yeah, I remember Danny saying something, and this was saying it's in general about their allergies bothering them a few days ago. So
right. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, sorry about that, Danny.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, if it's, you can find something to do over the next few days that, lets the time pass, quickly, or gives you a little bit of relaxing time. Even though it's a little bit stressful since you're not getting covered for that work.
Yeah. Stress. Then true that. Now I won't give any spoilers because I strongly dislike spoilers, so I won't put that out there in the world. But I feel like it's such a great show. After watching the first episode, I felt like this is amazing world building. Like the way that they broke that first episode up and not only folded characters in and their dynamics with one another, but sort of like, this is our take on mankind, or this, some of mankind. Here's the world, and how it operates. And it was just really well done. They had another episode, again without spoilers, where they just sort of built up to the in a couple episodes, or the episode before, like, oh, they mentioned something, and then in the next episode, it's the whole episode is the past leading up to the present, and at the very end, it's the something, instead of like, operating back the normal flow of time. It was really interesting how we kind of knew the ending already. But we got to watch the build up, which made the ending have such a great payoff. So just really well. Sometimes I get a little lost. I'm like, okay, I mean, some of the characters aren't even involved yet, but then they do get involved. But I imagine they're just doing more world building, and it feels a little more like an anthology sometimes. But I don't dislike that. But I'm just so hungry for content that I'm like, yeah, give me the things we're here for. I love that they had some other DC Comics crossover. Since it's a DC comic originally. I mean, I guess DC is doing the show too, so it's not just originally. Let's see which episode, Rings of Power. Oh, really, DNC? I haven't caught any of it because why? I don't know. I know I haven't caught any of it yet. I'm currently watching what is it? Something Attorney Woo? What's the name of the show? Something Attorney Woo? Amazing? Extraordinary Attorney Woo. It's K-drama. And it's so good.
I've seen that advertised on Netflix.
I saw a cute little thing. It was on TikTok too, and the advertisement, I think. I was like, all right, I'll check it out. But then, like, absolutely blew things open. I'm like, okay, now I get this now. Now I get it. I understand everything. It was really good.
I just watch so many things when I'm doing other things that it's so difficult for me to like fit foreign stuff into my that I have to like watch subtitles for, unfortunately.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. Hopefully this is in camera.
Yeah, you're still on camera.
Good.
Oh yeah, too many good shows to keep up with. Yeah, I think the next one, because I know that I'm gonna have to watch Sandman on my own time, because I know that Michelle and Mason are already watching it with someone else, so it's gonna be a Stephanie thing. But Rings of Power, I am excited to watch.
to the back side of that. I guess we can do that now while we're here. At the base of this is this jackass. So Gracchus, tiefling, you know, this reddish orange skin tone mixed with sort of a coal black. But he's sort of a Western gunslinger too. And he doesn't actually, I don't know if he's actually going to have a gun or not, because there aren't too many in the world. So we'll see. But he does have sort of that's okay. It's fine. It's just like the 8th thing. Crumple, crumple, ting. I thought you were teasing me for a minute. Right. So he's sort of like a gunslinger, like a true grit kind of John Wayne gunslinger without the racism and sexism and all the terribleness. So that's a Gracchus. He's been there for his bestie, Titania, as long as she can remember, she said. Even though he used to get picked on and such for being, you know, tiefling. Just bogus. Bogus. But through thick and thin, he's been there for Titania. Really looking forward to Saturday, because the group has found their way to this. So it's, you know, in a quadrant of the world sealed off from the rest of the world. Everything floats here. All the islands are floating islands. Travel's done through arcane airship. Down below is just this huge, terrible sea of miasma. Rolling dark clouds of miasma with very dangerous creatures in it. So they're on this island called McCullumstead. At least that's what the I can't even call them settlers, because, you know, there's this whole native population there. Native population calls it Musalani. And they're in this underground city with the native population. They moved on from, you know, this other area on the surface of this floating island into the core of this island, into the depths. One of their crewmates, Vic, Goliath, like the lead deckhand on their arcane airship, the Tempest. Well, he never knew his biological parents. He was raised by adoptive parents. His biological parents sent him to these, their friends, his adoptive parents, when he was just a baby, for whatever reason. He doesn't know. They didn't say. Said it wasn't their place to say. And his biological parents live here in Musalani. So they've arrived in this underground city, which I can't actually think of the name of. off the top of my head. But so they've arrived here for a number of reasons. The party has things they're pursuing here. The texts that are said to be, like sacred texts. What else we got going on there? We've got an actual book of import. One of the I can't think of the name of the books, but there's a set of 3. What's that?
That's not the Book of Enoch, is it? Oh no, you're talking about
yes, that is it. Book of Enoch. So sacred texts that might hold the origins to this nasty order that killed one of the party's, some loved ones. The Book of Enoch is a 3-set book series. Someone that's probably not going to use it for the best purposes has 2 out of 3 books, so they're here to try and, be at least one step ahead of this other person finally. And maybe get that book. So there's a few things going on here, but they arrived to find that the sacred texts are missing, as well as a number of people that the townspeople are calling the Whispers, because in every case, the people were claiming that they were hearing whispers in the days prior to their disappearance that no one else could hear. Obviously they caught on pretty quickly. Like, this is all in hindsight. They're like, oh shit, this was happening with everybody. They're like, look, there's several cases now where we're getting the same report. And the town sent out their, recovery teams, because they're effectively the Underdark, sort of. At least that type of area. It's not really the Underdark, but it's subterranean and dangerous. So they have recovery teams to help recover people, recover items that are left behind, if you have to leave in a rush. So they sent out a few recovery teams, but some of them didn't come back. So after losing like 2 or 3 recovery teams, out of like 9 or 10, it's not like they sent them out and just, let's send another one. But after like losing their second or third, like, okay, we need to send our best hunters out instead, because clearly this isn't cutting it. We need like the trained, skilled hunters to fight whatever is happening to these people, in case it's, people don't just disappear on their own. So they did that, and through sending out the hunters, they discovered that a couple of the hunting parties disappeared, and they said, okay, we can't keep nickel and diming this. A poison water supply, nice. Oh my god, bring some cures back. Yeah. So this they're like, we need to let's get all of our hunting parties together and do like a proper search, because they lost like 2 hunting parties. It is big search, and they lost like, out of like 12 to 15 hunting parties, they lost like 3 or 4, but all of them in sort of this one area, this not super specific, but a relatively specific area. Their crewmates' biological parents are among the Whispers. So the crew volunteered, okay, well, let's help. The town switched over after losing those other hunting parties in that big collaborative effort. They switched over to town defense. They're like, we don't know what's going on, but we're clearly not equipped to do this, and we shouldn't keep sending people out. We need to focus on keeping the citizens safe at this point while we assess, take the clues we've been given, and figure out what on earth is going on. So they're on high alert with their defense in the city, and that's about the time that our friends showed up, our crew, Saturday night. hearing that their party member Vic's parents are among the missing, they volunteered to help out, which is very thoughtful, very sweet. I love that kind of camaraderie. Yeah, so that's what they'll be. They've been given a heads up, like, hey, we got a, our library. What do you call it? It's not library. Not librarian. It's archivist. That's it. I'm a great multitasker.
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm known for it. The archivist had some report to give. They're like, why don't you go talk to them? They're going to be on their, give me the report in a bit. But for now, go talk to them and see if they have any insight. So I think that's effective, truly where the party's going to start this Saturday. But we'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, there's a reason I'm trying to get these minis printed before Saturday. Just in case some
shenanigans happen.
Indeed. Have it Gracchus and Titania. You're there with them. Got like most of the crew here, I think. Of course, there's sort of a pseudo rule that we, there's a handful, like a couple of party crew members you can bring at once.
Yeah.
Obviously, let's bring everyone. The vampire hunter, the mysterious guardian. Let's bring everybody to the
Yeah.
And Titania and Gracchus are the two that are gonna fight for this big time. They're invested. They're here. They just joined the crew. And
are you doing a Titania figurine?
Oh yeah, she's right on the side. I'll show you here in a sec.
Okay.
I actually have to glue a piece back on, unfortunately.
That happens.
It's a complex, piece, and one of the things broke. I will super glue that. I figured I'll do the painting, so I don't F it up while I'm trying to paint, and then I'll glue it. Which I think you were saying before is the way it should be done anyway. Paint it, just don't paint the gluing part.
From Christy and also sources that I looked at before, I heard back from Christy when I was asking her. They said to just not paint the part that you're going to glue and then just glue after you paint. Also allows you to kind of be able to, especially when you're gluing pieces together. And not just fixing things, it allows you to kind of get all around something, and not have to fight with crevices or
Oh right.
Difficult. I think my playlist ran out. Oh, paused?
Oh no.
I didn't tell you to pause. Okay. Here we go. That's some nice medieval tavern music. What did you say, Dan?
So why are you doing this playlist?
Yes, why?
I thought we were friends.
Pause it. And then it said to put a pause on things, and I just don't know how to take that.
But why?
But why? What did I do? Well, I've gotten the priming done for Casil, Savar, Juniper, and Tegan. Oh, and Renarius. Working on a sleep right now. Then I'll go back and do a second layer on a couple of these. Make sure they're nice and done.
Nice. Very exciting.
What is he holding? Oh, a bone. Okay.
What's that?
I was painting. I didn't realize that Asleep was holding a bone in one hand, and I was just painting one end of it, and I was like, "Wait, what is this?
What am I painting?
What is Asleep holding in his hand? Full fist, you know?"
Yeah. Sleep.
Sleep, please.
To Tavern Fighter's secret weapon. You can't knock him out. Like, join him.
Yeah, right.
Sleep is very fun Warforged in our Monday night campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Which Steph DMs.
Newest character for the party. Played by Jonathan, who is doing it very well. Very fun.
Yes. Agreed. Alright. Let's crack this upside down.
Details come out really nicely on this printer. It's amazing.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
They really do. Yeah, I love it. Alright. Well, wings are coming together fairly nicely so far for Gracchus. The color's drying into the color that I really wanted, so
nice.
That's excellent.
Your hair's getting in the camera a bit.
Oopsie. Alright, I guess I'll put my hairband back in. Thank you for the heads up, Steph. Mm-hmm. You know that production value stuff drives me nuts. So.
Yeah,
that drives me nuts, but
I just happened to glance up, and I was like, "Oh, hair."
I'm done.
Your hair is everywhere.
Just gonna finish this wing, then I'll put my hair up.
I was watching a Instagram reel the other day, came across one that was someone like showing the process of like printing like minis and removing the support stand.
Yeah.
And they just ripped off the supports. Like just ripped them.
Goodness.
Grabbed and it came out fine, but it gave me a small anxiety. Like, I was like, oh God.
Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah.
I was like, I feel like that's not the best way to do that, but okay.
But with the new setup I have with better understanding supports, a lot of them I can tear off now.
Okay, well, good.
However, yeah, that's also much easier to do with the previous resin, because the rigid one's much stronger, and so it's attached in a much more secure way, which is great.
This definitely looked like the other resin that most commonly used resin, I think.
Yeah,
but not as strong as this obsidian one.
Yes.
These little like arrows couldn't have been easy. When asleeps on the ground. I guess you don't really like. You don't. Yeah. Does that require supports, or is it because it's on the base?
It depends on the angle, but they did require a few. Yeah. If it's printing perfectly vertically, it shouldn't need them. But most of these minis get tipped.
Oh yeah.
Backwards. I put them around 37-degree angle backwards so that if you print it like this, there's just too many odd places that the supports won't get. Like on this here, the cloak, the bottom of the cloak just appears. If it prints upside down because it dips in the pan and prints. So if it's suddenly printing this cloak or the tail, let's say, and there's just nothing. Well, I hope that stopped it. Sorry if it didn't. If it happens again in 9 minutes, then this is just floating off into the vat. So that's what the supports are for. So that would, if it's perfectly up and down, then you're attaching a bunch of supports to the top of the base here, and it's going to look super shitty when you cut it.
Oh, yeah.
So what you do is, like, in the program, you tip it back about 37 degrees. I think it's like, I forget, 35 to 41 is decent, but mine works best at 37 degrees. So that things all attach kind of to the back of the mini. So the front that you see, doesn't even have anything attached to it, any supports.
Ah, interesting.
But then, like things like the arrows, like the flame here, it's not printing vertically, it's printing this way.
Yeah.
And so it needs a couple supports to hold it.
Nice. Okay.
To keep printing. All right, y'all, let's just take a quick look at the wings here and see if I missed any. Oh, there's a glaring spot. We didn't even get to take a look because I did it myself. I'm so sorry. We meant to do that together. Here, we'll do this one. Here's where we missed. Where I missed, but here we are correcting.
What's this wee business?
Everything's a joint effort. It's all about communication. Makes me think of that. I don't know if you've seen the recent TikTok trend with that little, like an electronic, some kind of song. Toot 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 toot, or something like that. People bar. Listen, SpongeBob. No, it goes like this. But apparently it's from a Reddit post where a woman was talking about this partner she was with, and the partner would always ask to put this whatever type of electronic. It's none of the types that I listen to, so I can't remember the actual genre. I have a whole different range of electronic stuff, but whatever it's called, he wanted to play this, and he would thrust to the beat, but the beat's like doot 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 doot.
What?
Doot 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 doot. It's like really. There's no fluidity. There's no building of anything. And in this post, she's talking about how it was going on for 2 years, and she'd had enough. And
Yeah.
so there's a gajillion TikToks now. Like, you know, what's going on? Why did this guy think, you know, like trying to imagine this beat? And there's women doing like the thrusting to the music. Like, no, how's this? What? Which makes sense, because obviously that's highly unlikely to produce any results.
Yeah, no, yeah,
But I think one of the things that gets me is like, that's a 2-person issue.
Yeah.
Like, of course, he doesn't. I feel like they were fairly young, both of them. But like, look, education, sex ed, and stuff in school, it's not going to teach you anything about like most of the important stuff.
Yeah.
When it comes to intercourse, especially like, hey, here's an idea of which, you know, this is what it is.
Yeah.
And this is sort of how, you know, why not? They don't even teach like.
So he might have thought that it was like fine. If this is.
The thing, yeah, it was ignorant.
Yeah.
And that he doesn't experience it that way. Maybe that was enough for him. I mean, it's a lot easier, you know, for people with, you know, operating penises to get off. But it bothers me because, like, yeah, he should have said, like, hey, how's, like, communication is just huge, right? You just talk.
Yeah.
What kind of things do you like? What kind of, here's, you know, things that I like. What are your expectations? And what are your no's? And but definitely, like, hey, are you feeling this? Is it good for you? But also, if it's not, don't wait 2 years either. Like, I feel like, you know, it's due to this guy. Like, yeah, the guy should get some flack for like, hey, what are you doing? Like, check in. But I feel like everyone's ignoring, like, also the other partner could have, you know,
like, hey,
said something.
This isn't working for me. Like,
yeah, before 2 years.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You know, just because, you know, if you want to make it work, you want to make it work. Communication is so important, especially in the bedroom.
I think that, I mean, I would love to know if this person was like, what, like this guy's background, because there are certain cultures, I'll say, or certain parts of society. There are certain parts, I would say that there's certain parts of society in America that don't think that communication is necessary. So it's whatever the man wants to do.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Whatever the person with the penis wants, that's what you need to put up with. I was taught that. I was taught that. So, I mean, not directly, but that was the culture that I grew up in. So I indirectly, that's what I was like. Okay, yeah, it's up to the guy, whatever they want to do. So
I both love and hate hearing insights from other genders. Like, because I want to know better, right? And that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Who's to say that she didn't say things again and again? Yeah. And he was like, yeah, but.
Or you know, just feel like she wasn't in a, like, that she wasn't allowed to say something.
Yeah.
Like, this was how it was done. And she could have also been naive and just been like, oh, this is just how this is supposed to go.
Probably were both, yeah.
And then after it, you know, then slowly started to like kind of hear things or like learn things and be like, oh no, this isn't normal. Like, like this is.
Wait a minute.
This isn't helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I both love and hate, like, you know, because it's good for, you know, yeah, that's right. Maybe, you know, as a white man, there's a lot I don't. I just don't get it. I haven't experienced it. It's loaded with privilege. Yeah, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Could just be like conditioned, kind of be like, no, you just have to kind of deal with this.
Yep.
Like, this is the way it is.
I've known plenty of the people that do that. So,
but that really sucks too. I mean, because it's almost every time I learn something, it's like, oh no, oh, that doesn't sound good. I don't know why. All right.
when I
Mhm.
actually hear people that communicate to each other, I'm like, oh, well, that's really nice. Like, that's really good because that's not what I was, not
Oh,
what I was taught. So,
yeah, that's a shame. I just, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a struggle far more for the people that have to deal on the brunt end of it, but I can see that struggle, and I get that yeah, just it's so dumb that it's just like whether it's bigotry or you know,
sexism.
yeah, there's just so many different isms that
Mm-hmm.
but if you just take a step back and everything's better if you communicate,
Yeah.
you know, just in general, communication's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Science, amazing. Let's look at facts, and
Mm-hmm.
then work in the opinions. But let's base it off of facts. Let's start there. Oh my gosh, it's insane. Okay. Anyway, I'll reel it back in. I'm sorry. Here's the wings so far before.
Ooh, lovely.
Yeah, just before any of the dry brushing, so you can see how for viewers, it's really like the spots almost look like cow spots because they're just so well defined. The edges are so sharp. So I want to kind of do away with that with a little red dry brushing over the edges in
Oh,
particular,
yeah.
front and back. And I think that will hopefully give us a more natural blended look.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess we'll find out, won't we? All right. All right, let's take a look.
Yeah. It's looking good.
It's looking a little better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just need to work a little more into this spot. Hey, we'll do the same for the insides here. Have you watched any more Steven Universe yet, Steph?
It's been a couple of weeks, I think, since I've watched it.
Okay.
Still working.
Nice.
Don't forget to get up and stretch if you need to, Dan.
Sorry, what's that?
Don't forget to get up and stretch if you need to. With the,
oh, thank you. Sure will. Yeah. All right, let's take a fresh look here.
It's been about an hour. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking at a lot more.
Mm-hmm. It looks more subtle. Mm-hmm.
Back here. I think I'm just going to give the whole thing a little more coating of that.
Okay.
Red. Just get down a little bit more.
Do you know who Satine Phoenix is, Dan?
I do. We were actually right next to her at one point. You and I and Mason and Michelle.
Oh.
PAX West. Yeah, it was
I completely forgot about that. Are you aware of the controversies recently?
Well, I think so. I feel like it had something to do with her and someone else that were putting together a book.
Her and her partner.
Okay.
Yeah. Jameson.
Yeah, and they like stopped paying the people.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So I backed that book on Kickstarter.
Fun.
So yeah, because it sounded really exciting, like Battle of the Bards, had a bunch of like bard stuff in it. And I was like, that sounds like just a lot of fun, you know?
Yeah.
It's supposed to have like some extra like magic items in it. And I was like, oh yeah. Oh. And yeah, so all that went down and I was like, ew, you know, but also I was like, well,
yeah, I want not good practices. Yeah.
I want the artist to be paid. Oh, 1,000 Young, thank you so much for the raid. 2 people.
Oh, 1,000 Young, how are you? Thank you.
How are you doing? How was your stream? I guess you were crafting.
Oh, we up 2,000 Young.
Hello.
So you want the artist to be paid?
Yeah, so I was like, because a lot of people were asking for refunds. So I was like, no, I was like, I kind of want, I'm still okay with supporting. I mean, they weren't issuing them anyways at the time, but people like on the Kickstarter page were like, I don't want to support this project. Because also it was coming out that like Jameson was also very like possibly abusive to some people, you know, like, and sculpting some skeletons. It's exciting.
That's so cool, Dodson.
And
I heard that both of them had like a lot of really poor practices.
Yeah. And so I was like, but I want the artist to be paid, so I'm cool with still like I'm not gonna like raise too much of a fuss. Well, so they sent out an update that like, okay, like Jameson is off of the like is out of the project, like, and off of the company, taking a step back from the company. And, you know, Satine was being really quiet. It was mostly like the company that they were working with or something that was like responding. And like,
well, at least they were
on the Kickstarter, on the Kickstarter page, and they were like, okay, Jameson's taking a step back, you know. And then it was revealed, oh well, Jameson is still on the board, like he's still on some kind of like committee board for the project.
There.
Yes. And then I get an update like a couple weeks ago
Mm-hmm.
They're the only two working on the project now. They're both back working on the project solo, working on the book solo. So they're having
so the partners, yeah.
Yeah, so they're having to rewrite everything because they fired everyone.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, no one was getting paid, and then they fired them all.
And they fired them all, and so now it's just the two of them, and they're like, well, it's going to be possibly a 2024 release because we're having to rewrite all of this because obviously of what they did. So now and so like everyone, because it's like, okay, so my money's not going to support the artist now, it's going to support you. Cool. And everyone is just like outraged. Sure. Outraged.
Checks out.
And then like their only response to that was like, we've gone through so much this past year, like the two of them. We've gone through so much. We've, all allegations of us not paying our artists. We we gave them this much that they agreed on. We're having to do this all by ourselves now, so please be patient with us. And then just reiterating, here's Kickstarter's backer policy, like that they don't have to be issued refunds if. So pretty much just like trashing everyone who was still who supported the project.
Yeah, that's frustrating. That's really frustrating.
I was like, wait, what?
The thing is, like, I get like one-on-one, you work with a one person, there could be a bad egg artist-wise, or like in any role. It's like, wait a minute, where's my, and try and get more or do something.
Yeah.
But it was a whole team.
Yep.
Saying, hey, we're not getting paid, and it's in the thing I read, it was like a build-up of like them, the artist being very patient, and like, hey, we, you haven't paid us, we'd like to get paid, and like really trying to sort it out.
Yeah.
And so like to hear the, them be like, nope.
Yeah, sorry. Nope, not going to do it. Yeah. An absolute
very difficult to believe.
Dumpster fire. 1,000 Young. Oh yeah, that whole mess.
Yeah. Oh, there's a tiny little support nub here in the back of Rex's horn. Where was that?
What are you doing to it?
Cut it. Okay. So just trim that. Thankfully, with this new, much more rigid resin, that goes a lot smoother. I don't really have to worry about breaking delicate pieces just by simply cutting them. Trimming a piece off. Alright, so I'm actually going to use the camera here just to see if I've missed anything on the horns here.
1,000 Young. I don't think so. I saw a text exchange between, I think, him and the tattoo artist that was at the very beginning of all the controversy of like, there was some kind of tattoo artist he got a tattoo by, and like,
oh no, 1,000.
Tattoo artist was like because like I think Jameson wanted a tattoo that was like copyrighted, and the tattoo artist was like, I can't do that, like. And then I think Jameson tried to like I don't know, like it was like not pay him, or the tattoo artist, yeah, that was towards the beginning of everything. That's kind of like
really
the snowball effect of like,
yeah,
this might not be a very good person.
It's a shame.
It really is.
You always like to hope and think the best of everyone, especially like people of some fame and this and that. But everyone's people, And it's not that it defines them for their whole lives. Like, these two are terrible people, but they certainly took some terrible actions at this point in their lives, in regards to this.
And at first I was like, okay, like, this is some bad decisions on Jameson's part, but Satine is just, like, trying to, like, deal with it. But, like, and I get, like, supporting your partner, and trying to, like, work through it, but, like, then to go and, like, fire the entire art, the entire writing arts, the entire writing staff at least, and just be like, oh no, this is now a solo project between the two of us. Okay.
There was a few things kind of like that on the way too.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh, that's your stance?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Hot topics.
Yeah.
Hot topics. All right. So I'm just going through. I've got the wings done and brushed a bit nicely. I'm gonna get the face and neck here as carefully as I can. Is that in view, hopefully?
Some face and neck action, yes.
Yeah, a little face and neck. I go all the way down to the neck when I paint minis. All right, let me just check my reference. I guess it's a pretty deep color space there. Pause, Dan. Is this your 000 brush? It is. Okay. Let's just get that into a nice tip here. There we go. All right, how are we getting around this crazy town? Is this... Wait for the lag to catch up with me there. All right. I think that's okay. I'm so bummed because I'm pretty sure there is the Lennox mini out there. I'm pretty sure Vic made a Lennox mini. But we don't use the we only used them briefly.
Dana, I don't know if we ever did. Because like
Really?
she ordered them, remember? Like she ordered them from like an Etsy person.
Yeah.
And then they never got to her, as far as I understand.
Oh no.
At least unless it was it's entirely complete, but it was like months after she ordered them and they still hadn't got to her.
Okay. We use minis. Maybe she was just using like lookalikes or something.
I think she was just using lookalikes. I think. I don't think that she ever got, unless I'm just not remembering correctly.
No, that's an extra bummer. All right, I think I see another mini support here. Yeah, 1,000 long. That's more.
Yeah, it's one wild thing with like Kickstarter campaigns. You never know. You really just never ever know. Like I've only backed 2 Kickstarter campaigns, and they're both like extremely. Like I backed a game that I saw at PAX back in like 2017, 16.
Jeez.
Still not released. They're still working on it. No, they're still working on it. Still not released, and it's just like a not simple. I don't want to like minimize it, but they're putting a lot of effort into it, but it's just taking so long. And then this thing that it's this book that's like 2024, and I'm like, I'm gonna forget that I've ordered these things by the time that they're released.
Yeah, that's 2017 now. 5 years.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Wow.
It's been a while. It was such a nice little moment. They, like, the team that was making it, they were at like PAX, one of the PAXs, the smaller PAXs, and
PAX Northwest.
Northwest.
Northwest. Yeah.
And you know, I backed them. They were super like chill. They were super psyched. And they had just opened their Kickstarter that weekend. That was their first like PAX that they had been to with the project, and they got backed like that weekend, like fully, to cover the project.
Oh, that's
and
so nice.
They were just so psyched. But bless them, it's just taken so long. I'm like, you know, like they have a Discord and they show progress, but at the same time, I'm just like,
yeah. I feel like they might be working on it, but I don't think 5 years for a game, you know.
Yeah.
It's not a video game, you know. It's like, just sounds like poor planning or execution.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer. It happens, but hopefully, you know, you'll get it.
Yeah. I don't know, it's just kind of like maybe people should like plan their Kickstarters differently and not be like, you know.
Yeah. I think there's a certain phase that you should be at in development, like before you actually post Kickstarter. It's tough because it's exciting. I got this idea. Man, how much time do we want to put into it? You know, before like without getting paid, you know, or do you know any of that? Hand-forged steel D20 from Gil. Yeah. Oh man, 2019. I had a show, Mortal to Mortals, an interview show, and I interviewed Gil.
Oh, Gil was on your one of your Mortal to Mortal episodes? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep. Way back in the day. But that's a shame, yeah. I see him working on stuff. Oof. Well, Backer Kid. Okay. I hope he's still working on that stuff. I mean, that I can see like taking a while, but not, I mean, for years. Or I think not the danger, but one of the things you need to be conscious of when doing a Kickstarter, because we've looked into a couple, and one of those concerns is, okay, are we either you're not going to get enough backing, it's just not going to happen. You'll get a reasonable amount of backing and be backed, or it will take off. Like you have to plan for the biggest case. Yeah. Like if you're not prepared to do that, then you don't do the Kickstarter yet. Because for me anyway, because just a professionalism piece. Like if we did any of our stuff, like, you know, we were looking at like a world book for Astrala Nor and some other different smaller packets of things. But it was so much, there's a lot, and there's a ton involved in that. And like, if we're not ready to make that happen on a larger scale, like, I didn't feel like we, you know, it wouldn't be wise to do that, because while I don't think it would ever be like, whoa, we've got 30,000, you know, backers.
You just never know.
Like, if we're not prepared for it. Like, I mean, of course, the book's different. You put it together once, and then it's published however many times, so it wasn't really a concern for us. But like the dice and board games where you're developing a system.
Even with like the Kickstarter, like backer stuff, like the, you know, like if you back this much, you get these things. You have to be prepared with those, you know, if those are things that aren't just something that you'll have that you can digitally put out, then you have to be prepared for the work that'll be involved.
Another very good point, Steph.
Oh, absolutely. Danny says, and now he's starting up an Etsy store for more orders. You know, it's I can't say that I've never done something similar. Not that I've ever had like a Kickstarter or anything, but like to where like you know that you have these things to do. You know, you have this list of things like, okay, like I have this, but you don't have any, you haven't set a deadline for those things. It's so easy to put those things to the side. I'm not saying it's right, but it's so easy, especially when you're like super busy or super overwhelmed, which I think Gil probably still is or was at least, you know, during that time. Like, super easy to put that stuff to the side and be like, okay, there's no deadline on this, but here are things I have deadlines on. Let me do those. Let me do those. And that continues and continues until like it's like 2 years later, and you're like, oh, yeah, I do have these things that I promised people. And then it becomes
a whole different thing.
It becomes a whole different like anxiety thing of like, oh, now I just feel like I can't, like what do I do, you know? And then you just avoid it because it's too much stress and anxiety because you've put yourself in a hole, you know?
Right.
But yeah, it's just, again, as you said, poor planning.
Wow.
Which is so easy to fall into. So I'm not even like super saying that like Gil, I know that feeling of like falling into those holes of like creativity, and promising people that you'll do something and then not fulfilling, and then, you know, just kind of spirals from there. It's a slippery slope.
Yeah, freaking wet.
Well, hopefully he gets around to it. Danny, do you know, Danny, if people have like contacted him about it? Is there a way that like the Kickstarter, is it still up to where you can like message? Is he active on it? Have there been any updates? Quoted from his most recent Kickstarter update, basically, my pledge with the Etsy shop and eventual online website shop is for every order I get, I ship out a Kickstarter one. Every order I get, I ship out a Kickstarter one. These new dice are priced at a premium in order to have you all locked in the Kickstarter pricing. Interesting. Okay. Basically, my pledge with the Etsy shop and eventual online website shop is for every order I get, I ship out. Interesting. Okay. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but
so instead of completing all the Kickstarters,
yeah,
it's like only when someone orders on the Etsy,
yep,
it's matching one of the old Kickstarter ones. Yeah. Yeah.
feels like a shitty incentive.
It feels a little backwards, like the people that got the orders in first, Kickstarter, that was, you know, a backed Kickstarter too, should probably just get all their stuff first. This is probably the way I do it, but it's just me. There could be other financial reasons behind that.
Maybe,
you know?
maybe. I can see that too.
There's plenty of people could do a Kickstarter. And not saying that, it was like a not being good with money thing, but if you run into a position where you're like, oops, that money's gone.
Yeah, yep.
Then, but you still need to get stuff out. That would be a way to go about it.
Almost like having gifts for everyone at for a birthday, for a holiday, and being like, well, for every gift I get, someone else gets like I will give out one of the presents that I've already bought for these people and have prepared for them, but I'm not going to give it to them until I get a gift first.
Nice.
All right, we're getting close to getting all the priming done on the Forsaken miniatures.
Nice.
Just touching up now. Where I need to.
All right, let's check out this tail. I feel like I did a pretty good job on the fade here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let me get some light in here. Sorry. Yeah, nice fade there from red to sort of that maybe that's too much light, to black, and then the very wrap around the tip there, the spine on the very tip of the tail's red, just full red, and the little spikes along the top ridge are red too.
I like it. Good job. Fine job. Fine job.
Good show. All right, still need to get hands. All right, there we go. A little overzealous on that one. So just find all these here. Jeez. Keep getting this out of the effing camera. Definitely gonna work on a new thing here. That's no good. Come on. It's just a little spot. Sometimes there's like a little divot or something. It just doesn't want to accept paint. Okay. There we go. Check reference for the other hand here. Text underneath. Not the butts to hilt. Right. So, I've also been watching the reboot of Bee and PuppyCat.
There's a reboot?
Uh-huh.
What?
Well, so it was out on whatever, right? What was it?
I don't remember.
Cartoon Network or something. I forget. There was like a little subset thing it was on.
Mm-hmm.
First, Bee and PuppyCat Lost in Space, and they had their first season. And the episodes were a little short, 15 minutes or whatever. But it was interesting. It was bizarre, but funny, like really funny in a bizarre way. And yeah, made you theorize and other things. So that was fun. And Lily and I watched that years ago, and one of her friends was like, "Oh, check this out." So we did, and I was like, "What?" So then they were talking about doing season 2 for years. Season 2, and it worked, season 2. But then the network, Cartoon Network, whatever network it was, dropped them. So then they were like, okay, we're going to try and do, this other thing or do it ourselves or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was years and years of waiting. We're talking to other, networks to try and pick us up. It became the talk, this and that. But apparently Netflix picked them up at some point. They just released the episodes yesterday, the day before.
Let's try that.
And yeah, so it's season 1, because it's sort of a reboot, but they folded in all of the previous episodes into like the content from that into like the first 3 episodes out of 16 for season 1. And these episodes are like half an hour.
Is the animation similar? Because I really like the animation of the other one.
Oh yeah, the colors. They've got the pastels whenever they go into the Magic Land. The animation itself is same style. Yep. Same silly vibe. Bizarre vibe. So it's back and it's on Netflix. Netflix sponsor us. Talking about so many of your programs today.
Yeah, right. I'll have to try that. I really thought I don't think I saw the entire season of the first one, but a couple of episodes, and I really loved it.
That's very nice.
There's another show in the same vein that had Catbug in it. This little like cat-looking ladybug. What show was that? I loved that. It was like a group of. Wait a minute. I'll do a search. It was like a group of like kids in space. Oops. Let's see. I'll find it. It's Catbug. Oh, is it show?
No idea.
Oh, the Bravest Warriors. Bravest Warriors. Super cute. If you ever see it, I feel like it's in a very similar vein to what's the one? That's the one you were just talking about called
Bee and PuppyCat?
Bee and PuppyCat. It's in a very similar vein to that, I feel. I saw it around the same time and it felt almost like it could have been done by the same person.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know what that is even. If it's even still happening. Number of episodes 82, 4 seasons. An American-Canadian animated series. Set onwards from the year 3085.
Cool.
Follows 4 teenage heroes for hire as they warp through the universe to save adorable aliens and their world using the power of their emotions. It was super cute.
That's what Dragon Ball Z.
Let me see. Where can I watch Bravest Warriors? Amazon Prime in big, large letters.
Nice. Alright, so we've got...
Oh, well, I clicked on it and it says this video is currently unavailable to watch in your location. Where can I watch Bravest Warriors in the US? Oh, okay. Amazon Prime, you're not being very...
You're not going to give up the answers just like that?
Nope. Where to stream? Well, it was available on Amazon Prime. I don't know where it's at now.
Nice. Hold on.
Sad. Okay. Alright. Catbug, I know. The audio from TikTok. You're all my friends now. We're having soft... I know! You're all my friends now! We're having soft tacos later!
Nice. Love it. Alright. We're gonna get a little of this matte black on here.
I think my favorite, one of my favorite moments that I saw, the few episodes that I saw, was like, Danny said it's looking good, Dano.
Oh, thank you.
Or it could be saying that you're looking good. It just says looking good there, Dano.
Thank you either way.
But one of my favorite moments was Catbug, which is this cute little, like, cat. I mean, pretty much what it sounds like. It was a cat, like a cat with, like, a ladybug back, you know? So it had, like, that ladybug and it had wings. And, it was, like, this random moment in the show where all of a sudden it cuts to Catbug playing with these stick figures. Like, these sticks that he put googly eyes on. And he was enacting this, acting out this scene from, like, a soap opera. Like, between this one stick named something and then Rebecca. And then he's just having this, like, over-dramatic moment of, like, like, he's, like, acting it out with the sticks. And then, like, Rebecca does something. I think she, like, leaves this other stick and it's like, Rebecca! No!
Oh my gosh, I love
and then it just shows the adventurers coming into the room and they're like, okay.
At it again, I guess.
Alright. Do I still have Rhaenyra's? Yeah, I have to touch up Rhaenyra's a little bit.
So excited. We're going to have minis to use for battle with Forsaken.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Marry me, Rebecca. No, there is another.
Jeez.
I'm glad you've seen this, Danny. Otherwise, it would just be me. Just be me.
Yeah, like some fever dream.
Yeah, like some kind of fever dream. Dan being like, Stephanie is going off about some show I don't think exists.
Nice. Well, I forgot Arrakis has a little man bun. My hair was a little longer when I was doing this. Like, it'd be great. Little man bun.
Aww.
Little, you know. I think the title's cute, but it also bothers me a little because I don't like that genderism kind of stuff.
Oh, right. Correct.
You know, but it is cute. But this, you know, little bun in the back of the hair, and I thought that'd be neat. So I was really digging my hair up and nose at the time. And sometimes you got to reach through like a really awkward way to get to something. Like it's like, what the heck do you call it? Operation. That's it. Like don't you touch anything else so on the way in with your brush or on the way out.
Such an anxiety trip that game was. I just remember just like before I knew like anxiety issues were like something that I had. Just being like, ah! Like that, and like we had this other board game. Have you ever played Perfection? Where it's like a board of sorts that has a timer on it. So you have to put all of the and it has all these different like shaped pieces like in the board that you have to put the little blocks in that fit it. So there are circles, there are X's, there are squares, but you have a certain amount of time to do that, like before the timer goes off, and then the entire thing like it shakes, and so like any progress you made is completely lost. So anxiety ridden. I
mean I can see that.
Oh. You'd be so focused on the task of like getting those things in that you wouldn't be paying attention to the timer. And the timer would buzz, and it had this like horrible buzzing sound. And
oh no.
That's also why I hate Jack in the Boxes.
The suspense and then the loud noise and pop.
It's that you never know when it's going to pop, Dan. Like, you can like roll a Jack in the Box and it never pops at the same time. You expect
I thought they all did the same song. The Pop Goes the Weasel.
Yeah, but sometimes like it'll go like that extra little deep, you know, because you're like rolling it, and then like it'll go that extra little like turn, and you're expecting it, and then it's delayed, and then it happens. No, I don't like that. I don't like the anticipation. I don't like the anxiety of the anticipation. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah. I can see why that would be stressful then, for sure. It's too much.
It's too much.
Too much.
I literally just see Jack in the Box and I get anxiety. Like, I must have had like an experience when I was younger. Like, it must have really like surprised me once or something, because I don't like even.
Well, you know, even before active memory, you can experience trauma, and trauma isn't always like somebody beat me silly or I watched someone die. It can be, holy shit, this Jack in the Box scared me.
Yeah.
After death.
Probably.
You know, a lot of babies get that with like, you know, they are born and they have like, they can't really keep formula or breast milk down. They get sick, you know, and so it's like a whole challenge to get them to thrive and stuff. And that can be the first half year of their lives, and that can stick with them. You know, and they won't know why. But it'll be there.
It'll be there. Just waiting.
All right, y'all. How do you feel? Hopefully.
Yes.
Hopefully this is on camera. We'll have to just wait and see.
It is. It's on camera.
Okay. How do you all feel? So I just did the tips of the horns here with some black, just to give it a little edginess there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it. Tried to make it a nice fade. It looks nice here. I don't know. It's tough to, it's not really translating on stream anyway.
I think it looks good, at least through what I'm seeing on the camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the ears too. It came out that way, and the design is a little more acute in Hero Forge, but in that, like, it's very dark, and the transition, the gradient is very quick, so it looks a little too fine, too defined for me. A little outside of the natural spectrum, so I've changed it up a little bit there.
Painting in Hero Forge is not a science. They've simplified it pretty. I'm just like, I just want to paint this. I just want to paint it, like, instead of just coloring certain areas, like, you know. But yeah. I get it. There's certain limitations to programs, but. And now yesterday, like doing the Brila thing again, I noticed that they're putting some things in Pro. Like, you have to pay a subscription.
Yes.
To, like, do them.
I get it. They need to make money. I feel like they've got a pretty good model already for making money. But that's just me. It's just me. All right. There's a bone white. Some of the flames down here are bone white, but I think they just weren't. No, they are, because I colored those. Yeah, they were just a wispy. Oh, no, I couldn't find accurate colors, and I'm like, I'm just gonna do that on the fly. That's what it was. All right. Well, I'm gonna keep the black here. There's some black in the sword, but there's like a polished brass on this sword that I want to get first, because the black is this thin sliver line that kind of runs up through that. So I don't want to try and paint that on your side of a thin black line. That just seems silly to me. Silly. All right, is that a brass, or is that more of a polished gold? No, it's brass.
Danny said looks good.
My face?
Well, I mean that, but also probably the mini.
Oh, okay, thanks. Which, the one in Renarius?
No, I think because you were looking at Krakus at the time.
Oh, okay. I think there's a thing there. Yeah, these mixing balls, come on now. They came with, come on. Jeez. The that big set of paints I got.
Cool.
100 plus. So here's 100 mixing balls.
That's handy.
I'll try them, but they're so good.
Nice.
I will definitely be buying them separate if I run out. Because I have a couple other kits on top of them, and you really don't need them for washes. You know, that's just. I don't think anyway.
I think that's. Yep. Uh-oh. Nice. Missed some priming on the back of Sleep's Leg.
Who's priming did you miss?
The back of Asleep's leg.
Oh.
I missed a spot.
Weak point.
Could be.
Power switch.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get brassy with it. Some brass on this. Yeah, I think that's definitely different. It just kind of matches nicely. Okay, anyhow. I love the texture of brass. Just gonna move this in here for whatever reason. It just has a cool, like a higher, what do you call it? Surface tension or something. So it looks really cool and kind of like liquid, like a liquid metal. Like, oh yeah, I get it. All right, I think that this is. I can just paint the whole hilt. Jeez, and then I'll just go over it with the other. Okay. Also get this hilt and just do this whole thing.
Hey, Stabby So, welcome. How are you doing?
Hey, Stabby. Ruler. Love it.
We're doing a special mini painting stream, or have been doing that today. You were doing good this morning. Okay.
All right.
Well, that's something. But that went down here quickly until it was not okay anyway for a while. Oh, I'm sorry, Stabby.
It's okay. Oh no.
I've had days like that.
No, doing a little bit. Okay. Showered and did a little self-care. Good, Stabby. Good. Did your emails and stuff go all right at least? Your phone call and emails and everything, I hope.
Right.
And if that's any of the source, then I'm very sorry that I brought it up. I'm thinking out loud now. Oops. Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I'm glad the emails and stuff went good, Stabby.
Well, so nice. Oh, good. I'm glad that went well and that you got a call on the horizon. Begin plans. Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear that. I hear that. Jeez, I hear that. Some really fine detail work on the sword. I don't know if I'm going to get it to translate.
Oh, you can do it.
I'm going to go a little liberal here and then just sort of paint the next layer that'll cover this with hopefully a little more detail.
Nice. Nice, Stabby.
Oh, nice. All right, I need a bone light for these bone tips at the end of the wing bones. Bone to bone.
What are you looking for?
Just a bone light. Kind of it's a color I've got in here somewhere.
Oh, it was like a bone light? Like a light for painting bones? That's oddly specific.
Nice.
And sounds like a marketing ploy.
Nice.
When I get some good quality painting on those bones that you're painting by this light.
Bone painting.
Bone painting light.
Got a mixing bone here already. Shouldn't eat too much.
Call now and get one bone light free. Yes, absolutely, Stabby.
Mm-hmm.
If you call in the next 15 minutes, we'll throw in this blood painting light.
Nice.
you call in the next 30 seconds, you're eligible to get a femur painting kit. And if you use the code on screen, you get 2 toenail knives and free shipping. Stabby, 1 point. Very on point.
This other one. Just jeez, I cannot keep it in the effing camera. It's driving me absolutely batty at this point.
Hair, Dan.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I was waiting for it to process.
Yeah, like I'm hearing that, but I'm so hyper focused on this very precariously placed correction. Thank you. Oops. Smash. All right, so we've got our little bone tips here. Hopefully,
ooh, I love it. Really sets it out. Yeah, really. Nice little detail there.
Nice. I like that. Definitely gives it that freakier. Ooh. Because they're sort of like bat wings, you know, they're demonic kind of bat wingish things. So I think that I agree. It really kind of gives it that yeesh.
Makes it pop.
Plus, it draws a little more attention for me anyway to the bones within the webbing.
Oh, hey, Humar, welcome.
Hey, Humar.
And for an extra $5, you get your very own easel, which you can only use blood of your ancestors on the paintings, or you'll summon all of your inner demons. Jesus.
Oh, geez, yeah. I mean, that sounds like, you know, maybe how Ibracus came to be.
There you go.
And a lot of tieflings. Right, next layer out, probably the belts and no, it's probably the. Oh, what kind of white is that? That's like a. I can't wait.
Timar, how are you doing? How was your work day? Are you getting over your return back from vacation yet? Doing well, mostly recovered from vacation, so trying to get through work. Aw. There is an adjustment period, right? Mostly caught up on sleep, so I am going to try to stream tomorrow morning. Nice. What are you playing currently? Painting is going well, Sassy. Hey. So I will point out that it is 4:21 your time, Dan. So whenever you need to stop, just let me know, okay?
Okay. Will do. Thank you. Same for you. If it gets to a point where you're like, okay, the end.
Done! I'm done! Playing Tales of Arisa and Yakuza like a dragon. And Yakuza like a dragon offline. Interesting. Not really sure what I want to stream, so it might just be some MTG. Cool. I haven't heard of either of those. There is no stopping. There is only the stream. Yes. Oh, Dan. So, in November, there's this game being released on the Switch called... Let me find out. But it's like a mix of a JRPG, farming, so Stardew Valley, and also like I think it's just a mix of like Stardew Valley and like a JRPG. So like there's like some like JRPG like fighting, you know, but then you also have like a farm to tend to. Harvestella, that's it. Harvestella. They know. Harvestella. Everyone knows.
Nice. And now I do too.
Yeah. It looks like Final Fantasy time, like combined with Stardew.
Well, I'm pretty sold just based on that description. That sounds pretty flipping cool.
Yeah, I forgot who told me about it the other day. I don't remember. Who was I? Oh, it was Tasha. That's right. Tasha was telling me about it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because she was saying that she was looking into maybe buying Dinkum, but then her husband pointed out that game to her, and she was like, "Oh, this is amazing."
Tasha, you can have both games.
Yeah, well, you could. You could definitely have both games. Yes. Yeah, sounds very interesting. Yeah. Listen, I love Final Fantasy games, or at least there was a point in my life where I played all kinds of Final Fantasy games. I love Stardew Valley. If done right, it could be amazing. Oh, Sassy, it's going well. Yeah, we're still painting for right now. Dan's still working on Akracus, right? Akracus? Akracus. Is it AG or AK? AK.
K's all the way down. Akracus. Well, it's not like crack. It's
Akracus. Akracus.
That first K is on the first syllable.
Akracus.
There it is. And oh no, Savvy, your garden, is everything okay in it? That's so much work. Hope everything's all right in there. And you got it, Steph. You definitely had it at the end there.
Good.
It's definitely a fantasy name, so.
Look, I have no area to diss you on hard to pronounce names.
Nice.
Sassy said, oh yeah, she, which I guess is the dog, just went in and played with my couch swing. It's all good. Ooh, couch swing.
I have you nervous.
Lovely.
Savvy, I have you nervous. All right, good. Dan, come on.
Yeah, and dogs can do a lot of damage with very little effort.
Especially in a garden, you know, it's all this work to set up, to maintain. In construction, let alone like the actual plants and care, and then it can be undone in minutes, seconds, even. Like, no. I really don't even know where this is going to show up now, so I'm just gonna paint, hope for the best, hope it's showing up on camera.
Yeah, you can see it. Okay, good luck with the meeting, Humar. Sassy says,
take care, Humar.
I was so confused because here it's about 10:30 almost, so wasn't expecting a ring on my doorbell. Oh, for sure.
Jeez, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, surprise.
There's almost that, like, natural, like, oh god, I'm gonna die. Like this. What? Who's ringing my doorbell? It must be it must be someone here to kill me. If it was that someone had backed into my car and wanted to say it. Oh, oof.
Yikes. Yeah, thank goodness it wasn't that. Yeah, a lot of anxiety over people, like doorbell ringing. I don't know that I get fear over that anyway. Not like spiders. Just kidding. But But I know that feeling, that part of me, I don't want to engage with people like showing up at my door. Who's showing at my door that didn't text me first?
Right, exactly. Like,
You know, it's a new world. We can text, and now the polite thing to do is text. Hey, I'd like to stop by.
Yeah. Yeah, I've lived in a not so great neighborhood in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
When I was in college, that a ring at the doorbell was sometimes like.
Mm-hmm. Don't want to answer this. Answer this. Is it safe?
Yeah, we lived right on like it was a weird like we lived right near a park, which was super nice, but then like you never went to, like, people in the park would tell you never to be there past like nighttime, like especially by yourself or with like another female.
Okay.
During the day, it was fine. It was great.
Okay.
It felt safe.
Not so much at night.
I never went there. I never went there at night to find out.
Gotcha. Wow.
It's actually, Stassi says it's actually fun because I have my service car in my driveway. So when my new neighbors moved in, they went over here to see if everything was okay. That was so funny. Oh.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, Savvy is an EMT.
Oh, yeah.
So that's pretty funny. Are you well?
Yeah.
I'm well, yeah.
Oh, and we had like a ring at the doorbell once at like 10, like around that time, like it was like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, or was it like later? It might have been like 1 a.m. This person was going around ringing the doorbells, wanting to know if they, like, if we would pay them to shovel the sidewalk outside the house.
Not anymore.
It's like, nope.
If you knocked at a
a decent time, maybe. Are you well? Yeah, I would ask the same for you. Are you all well? Because I'm supposed to help you guys.
Nice, nice, Abby. Love it. Oh man,
yeah, the house was like right on the like the edge of like a really nice neighborhood with like two-story houses, you know.
Okay.
And then that was on one side of us, and literally just on the other side of our apartment building, it was just a fourplex that my friend owned.
Okay.
Right on the other, literally on the other side of that was like one of the worst neighborhoods in Columbus.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad stuff.
Also, every time they get visitors, my neighbors, their guests always stare a lot. Oh, because of the service vehicle, Sassy? Hopefully.
You get visitors and neighbors. It's always stare a lot. Or, and hear me out.
Oh boy. Okay.
Your garden.
Oh, yeah. You can't get over it.
They make that face at that garden now.
Look, mad props, man. I've never had a real life garden, so.
Gardens are so fun stuff. They're so fun. So my folks had one. My mom, is the one that maintained it. Hey, isn't that pretty? Nice. Maybe they're like, that garden.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just teasing. My favorite, like if I can't have a full garden, it's like just an herb garden for like fresh. I love to
Oh
cook and like
yeah.
fresh herbs. They're so potent and delicious. They're judging you, yeah. Hmm. You seen that garden over there? I'm sure it's a-okay. It's a garden that suits your current needs, and that's good. It's important. All right. Oh, damn! Arachus's spurs are like gold.
Nice.
Let's color out this jacket. Just rusty and brown. I'm gonna say it's hard to live alone in a house with a garden. Yeah. It's maintaining like a whole like a house already. Yes, I. So a gardener sounds great, and an herbalist sounds even cooler. Like just sounds cool. Like if someone's like, "Oh, I'm a gardener," it'd be like, "Wow, like props. That's such difficult work." And if someone's like, "I'm an herbalist," I'm like, "Ooh, that's
fancy.
specialist
That's
level."
sexy.
Yeah. That's awesome. Let's take a look through our paints here. I think I'm gonna need. Oh, is that the? See, already primed. Oh no, I see. That's the print. That's the resin color. Is that mauve kind of gray, and you're adding primer to it?
Yeah, because they're not primed.
Well, the gray already looked. It looked like black resin already primed.
Oh, okay.
It's like, oh, you're painting at that mauve, and they're like, no, you're painting on the other color. So it's just going through those steps in my head. I think I want to find. Oh, here we are. A matte white. That's what I'm looking for. Just a nice matte flat white.
Nope, sassy.
Wrong. No. Maybe I can insert my Tinder. You only want to date people working gardens. Look, I feel like dating sites, they need better, more. You need to be able to curate better this what you're looking for. You need to be able to craft that with finer details. For sure. Oh, dry rust. That'll do. I was looking for rusty brown, and we've got dry rust.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Unless it goes more towards red rust than brown.
It's got a good amount of brown in it. There are a lot of I think we might add a little bit of like a leather brown to it too.
Yeah.
Actually, jokes aside, we're talking a lot to date my job. So much nighttime. Yes, the parents works nights as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, being up all night and then like sleeping during the day sounds amazing. Like I don't think I could. I've worked a couple of jobs that are like a proper third shift where I was leaving like 6 a.m. and that f's with my circadian rhythm too much. But for me, I tend to get like tired around 2 a.m. or 3.
You need like a late evening job.
Yeah. And then I like to sleep until like if I could without anything else going on. I probably sleep until like I do often anyway, 10:30, 11, get up and then but then my body's actually awake for the day and not just like I guess I have to get up.
Yeah.
Just gonna add a little more water here in my wet palette. Yeah, freaking mad.
Yeah, my dad did night shifts my entire life, so it's not. It was. I mean, yeah, definitely pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
Con was if you have kids, it's difficult to have any really like time with them.
Interaction.
Yeah, because like I would, he would come home. I would just be getting up for school. He would take me to school. Then he'd go home and sleep. Pick me up for from school. I'd maybe see him like in the house maybe like 2 hours before he had to go back to work.
Oh, okay.
Of course, he also worked like 12-hour shifts too. So.
Gotcha. Was it like the 4 days a week?
No.
12-hour shifts?
No, it was 5 days a week. Yeah.
Wow, just overtime?
Yeah. I don't know how he was paid for overtime, but that was just how it worked. I think it was kind of one of those jobs was like if you get the work done, you need to get done no matter how long it takes. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Savvy, that's a great point. I really feel like dating sites need to up their game with stuff like that. Like, honestly, I don't know, man. I think I even made a voice memo, so I get a lot of ideas. Like, usually for my streams and D&D and stuff, my voice memo gets filled with them. But I had one the other day that was for dating sites, and it like broke things down in a lot of different ways. Like not just a lot of important things like love languages and stuff. Because if you're in different love languages, you'd be pouring out, showing all this love for a person. If it's not their love language, they're going to feel none of it. And same vice versa. Someone can be like doing tons of acts of service for you, and it's like, yeah, that's just like what we all do for one another, and so it doesn't feel like this is my way of showing love, if that's not your jam. So things like that, like shifts, that's a great idea. Like, okay, my life right now looks like this, and so on and so forth, and also breaking it down by like short term and long term. Because I know there's some sites that are like, this is for marriage, and other ones like, this is just for a hookup. But I feel like having a combination of this is what I'm like while dating. Because I'll tell you what, there's a big difference between people just like in the dating zone in the short term, going around getting to know each other, and then the long term things can change. It can be different viewpoints. So I felt like make a website that covers in short-term dating. This is roughly what I'm usually like. I kind of like this, I like that. And then but if things turn long-term, you could probably expect I want to stay in more, I want to do this and this more, so that people can get a better idea. And it's not like, wait, I thought it was this. And now we've been but I like that too. Like, here's what my work schedule currently looks like, and I'd love to have, I can actually stay on call for 42 hours from 5 times count as overtime. Wow, nice, Savvy. That's got to be so nice. Except the exceptionally long. I mean, you're obviously earning it with that exceptionally long on call time. But like once I when I started feeling such, I'll switch to day shifts. Like I have that option. But so again, so nights pay for a lot. As for me, go for it. Go for it. Absolutely. You got to do, what is working for you, I feel, and then like constantly check in with yourself. Is this still what's good? Am I ready for change? Am I this? Am I that? And while that's working, make it work for you. You go, Sally. Awesome. Up the brush size one here for this. bring that color down a little bit more. That there we go. Nice leather brown.
Nice. Sassy.
Sassy, listen, I hear you. I hear you. Like, yeah, I'm making legit money. Oh, look at these cute. I have a thing for like cute things. Now, mind you, some of these things are just little cute dollar store things. Like these little cuties. Oh, they're so cute. Look at them and love them with me. Ah. But yeah, there's so much. It's like, oh, wait a second. More of that, please. Like everything on this shelf behind me. But that's for streaming. Cookie, how's it going?
Hey, Cookie.
You having a good morning so far, Cookie? I need something even darker than this. I don't know. Let's bring it down with the black, I think. Nope. I've had just the one hydrate so far. Cookie, so fire away if you like. I'll happily partake. Just gonna add a little black to this.
Thank you, Cookie. I will hydrate as soon as I'm done putting this on here.
All right. I think my hair's. I don't have to lean into the thing right now.
Okay.
Thank you, Cookie.
If you must, you must.
It must be done. All right, let's mix this up. We got a few more colors in here. Try and bring this color around to where we want it. Really muddied it up though, didn't it? Should I start again? Sometimes I reach out, like I had two colors, and I'm like, let me add this third one. Oh, thank you so much, Sassy. And then it just moves it too far to one side, and I really have to decide, like, okay, do I stop here? Like, do I add a fourth color? Or what? Or do I just restart? And that went way off the rails with that. It was too much black. It was too much black. All right, so let me see if I can find, like, I usually have. Maybe I can just use tanned flesh as a color. I mean, not actual tanned flesh. Clarify. Maybe some fur brown has some reds in it.
There's a movie about that.
Let's see where they look at me. Jeez.
Comfy? I'm always comfy, Cookie. I am not. Yeah. That's my go-to.
Cookie, I've had this for a bit, for a few months, but yeah, a few months, but it's still relatively new. So. All right, my music's different. I'm jamming music. I usually will sing along a little because it's my music playing, but I just realized that you're playing music that goes to the stream. And so that's gonna be like, wait, what are you
not the same. Oh, get some sleep, Sassy. Thank you so much for stopping in and chatting.
So I just stream, but I'm gonna get some sleep. I have D&D tomorrow. Yes, it's getting late here. Yeah, keep us posted, Sebby, next time you're in chat.
Yeah.
Sebby, consider, if you would, hitting us up on our Discord here too, because you're such a lovely human being. We'd love to have you, outside of stream time to engage with. Have a great night. I hope D&D goes super well. Have a blast with it. Let us know how it went. And if you end up in the Discord club, no pressure. If you don't, that's fine. Take care. Have a great night. All right, Sebby.
Bye. Okay.
Perfect. Take care, Sebby. All right, let me mix these together. These are already looking like they might make a better mix. Yeah, if I need to, I can just use a red wash to kind of bring up the reds.
Oh, yeah. Cookie asked if that was the whole set. I think the paint that you were showing.
So I have these other ones that are, game color that come in, 16s. I've got one that's like a metal and leather set, a couple different browns, filthy brown, desert yellow, sepia, and then your different, gunmetals and all that. Then I've got one that's like this, another one, 16 game color, that's like a starter kit for most basic colors. But yeah, this one's a big 100. It's got 3 levels and the paint on either side. I have with this 100 set came little like what do you call it? Whatever, I can't think of the other term. Steel balls, basically. They're mixing
ball bearings.
Ball bearings. Yeah, it's just there's a type of. What the heck is it called? It's like a brushed metal that's meant to not corrode as easily with water and stuff. Stainless steel. Little stainless steel. Bobs. And they mix the paint really well. Oh, nice Cookie. Cool. Oh no! You end up with like shards. I was gonna ruin them. No.
Yeah.
No. Can you imagine that coming out if you're trying to paint? There's little crusts of rust flecking all through it. Oh, my heart would be crushed. Crushed.
Oh, this paint's not cheap.
Oh no, right? So I'm going to paint this jacket and then just kind of review how I'm feeling. It might be getting pretty close to that point because I'm getting pretty hungry.
Sure, yeah.
Part of me was holding out to try and finish, which I might still do. But my stomach was just like, psst.
Yeah.
You hungry, bro?
Self-care. So if you're hungry, you should probably eat.
Nice. Yeah, that previous color mixture, I mean, it wasn't a bad mixture. I mean, it went south after I added the black. It was like, no, that's just like a muddy. It looked just like regular leather after that.
Yeah.
So, but the original mix wasn't bad. It was clashing so much with the red on the wings and stuff. So it's like,
Oh yeah, I can see that. That was that reddish. Was that the cup that?
yeah, the rusty
Yeah.
brown kind of color. Like, all right, well, just have to rework that a little bit.
Dano needs his pizza pockets. I tell you, I haven't had them, but I've seen them. Dan makes some pretty fine homemade pizza pockets when he's able to.
Oh, oh my gosh, they come out so well. Like, they're stupid good.
One day.
Yeah. Listen, I'll just, like, next time we all go to a PAX and stuff, you know, we'll just we'll rent a place together or something, like an Airbnb, so we have a kitchen.
Oh.
And I'll just make food for everyone.
Oh yeah.
Like, I gotta go home. I gotta prep. You won't have fun. We'll see you for dinner. Make some dope ass dinners. Make a really good New England clam chowder in case it's like chilly weather and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, Cookie. I love to cook. I worked as a sous chef when in my youth. I grew up cooking. My mom was really, really good with a lot of that. My mom has, like, I think some of her skills came from like being able to open a cupboard and be like, we can make this and put stuff together. I'm still cool. Like, but I love making like tasty food, especially from anything and everything from like BLTs. Everything's extra with me, not like extra, like it's huge and has bullshit, but like you make BLT, it's not just bacon, lettuce, tomato. You get the right, well, what do you like? Do you like mayo? How much? Do you like to add a little honey mustard usually to mine? Adds a little tang. Usually finely slice some jalapenos so that they're not too spicy, but there's a little bit of a bite there. Red onion on BLTs, I love usually try and see if people like that. Pinch of garlic salt, pinch of a grind or two of cracked black pepper. You can do a triple decker if people are really hungry, or just a regular one. You get the bacon laid out properly. I bake my bacon in the oven at 400 degrees for about 12 minutes or so per a pan because it bakes it evenly so that you don't get it all twisted and warbly. You don't end up with a bunch of fat. It renders the fat nicely and it doesn't get all curly and stuff. And lay it all out in a nice way so when you bite in, it's just going to break free and not be like half a piece of bacon or this and that. Lettuce, I keep it nice and crisp. Just go the whole way. Garlic salt goes on the tomato specifically, so they'll absorb it up and pull some of the runniness out of the tomato. I like to do everything like with that level of care. Love cooking. Nice. I want to be able to. Okay, Cookie.
Yeah.
Just made some the other day. They're good.
So what, do you ever just make some like chicken, Dan?
What's that now?
Chicken. Do you ever just make like chicken? I was gonna ask, what's your favorite way to cook chicken?
Well, for health, chicken is one of my health foods. Because I get like the extra lean, 97%, like not 97% because it's not ground, but like the big turkey breast is extra lean. And I'll pull tendons, I'll trim fat and skin. I don't want any of that. Like, I know skin's really good to when you're crisping it up, when you're deep frying it or putting it in a fryer or frying it in a pan. But this is the healthy version. And I'll get out my slow cooker and I'll fill it up with like a container of chicken stock, not the broth, the stock. Put some seasonings in, some garlic salt, a little celery salt, and pepper. And there's a bunch of different ways sometimes to make a spicy one. that has some citrus, usually lemon juice, but not always, and a number of grouping of hot spices. Other times I'll make more savory one that's sort of on the like oregano and thyme and coriander side of things, and I'll cook it with some celery cut up in the slow cooker to draw that. Sometimes some apples in with that too. That adds nice balance. But when it comes out, it's all like, you just touch it with a fork and it falls apart. That's probably my favorite way because I can put that in just about anything. If I had to do my favorite way for chicken, I don't know if I have a favorite way.
Okay.
But that's the most common way. I do that almost every week. So good, smells so good, tastes so good, and it's healthy. I painted the jacket right up under the wing in the back here, not being careful, so I have to fix that later. Remix the red. But it's 3 parts dragon blood to 1 part lava orange. So I say it enough times here too. If I do this in a week, plenty of places to find where I said it. I'll probably remember. Again, it's just one of those weird things that'll stick in my head, I'm sure. Because it feels like, I might need that again. So it's like extra important anxiety-wise. So it'll just kind of, float around there in my head. Don't stop me now. All right, let's get this other sleeve. Damn, right, my hair's back. Hair's back on the way again. It's just, oh, right, I'm sorry, Steph. Here is Titania. Now, she actually has another chain that loops around back the other way. So it's like a 360 chain loop action.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I love it.
How's this that far off still on the camera? Whatever. Jeez. I'm just going to get some widescreen things set for that. So capture the whole last screen. All right, what did I do? I wanted to get a hair tie and never did it. Cooks for these Dano also build PCs. You don't even want to see the PC that I've got built here. Yes, I build PCs. I do IT stuff and mental health stuff for a living. I have geez. Everything's glowing so beautifully down here.
Oh. Well.
Has all the LEDs and stuff on it. Yeah. I built this just after the other one broke. But I always build my own PCs. Yep. You can get better parts and stuff, like ASUS. I always like to go with ASUS for the motherboard. And you can really fine-tune your selection of video cards and stuff too. I do a lot of VFX and stuff. So I use it in more of a studio capacity than like a gaming capacity. But obviously, any of the RTX series are going to do fine with both of those things. Oh, jeez, it's tricky to. Tricky to get spots. So it's a killer gaming rig, I heard. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that she got. Well, I don't know if it's okay to share.
Oh, sure.
From when she got it and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Or go ahead and talk about it if you want, Steph. It's pretty dope.
Well, God, you might know more than I do. I mean, I have a graphics card.
I think it's a 30. It's an RTX.
So. It is an RTX, a GeForce RTX. I think so.
3800s.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't build it, obviously.
Nice.
I don't know what's in there.
Like a 3070, I think is what she has. Oh my gosh, mine's come down in price so much. It's stupid.
Wait, yeah.
An Asus ROG Strix NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3090, the overclock edition. So it's 24 gigabytes of GDDR6, and a bunch of extra pipelines and all that and stuff. It's like the best of the best of the best, but it's so cheap now.
Yeah.
It breaks my heart to look at that.
Scott is getting the one that I have for his, and it went down just in the short time. I mean, in the few months.
It was like 3,400 or something, and it's down to 12.
Woo! Yeah, that's more than half. No, it is.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's more than half.
Alas.
That's the way. That's life.
3090 had a lot of extra stuff, like new technology added onto it over the others, so it was tough to pass on it. Sometimes if it's just like, oh, it's got a little more RAM, or it's got a little more this, then it's like, whatever. It'd be a bummer, but it's not worth that much. But when it's like, here's this new technology that does X, Y, and Z that couldn't be done before, it's like, Yes. Just doing the base for this jacket now, and then I'll go back and actually add back in the crisp whites and all that good stuff. Jeez. I feel like every time I think I know where the camera is, I look up and it's entirely wrong. Oh, nice cookie. It's still beautiful. Yeah, it's a beautiful card. Any of the RTX series. There's a lot of stuff they can do. Mm-hmm. Whew. No, Gracchus is really coming together. Say
Looking
that much.
So good.
Nice. Good. Paint the inside edge of this jacket. Oh my gosh. Sometimes the paint runs out at like the worst moment.
Yep.
Please. It was all going so fine. I had a beautiful line on that. Everything was going perfectly. And then you ran out. You tried up on me. All right. trying to paint the inside of this jacket where it hangs behind his legs without getting it on his legs.
Oh, yeah.
Already made one big blotch on there. Oopsies. Excuse me. See if one of these flags. Oh yeah, it's the fallen branch thing. Cool.
Yeah. Taking the last layer of primer on these, and
do you do more than one?
I find it's a little thin if I don't. I mean, I don't do an entire second layer. I just go in and just touch up here and there where it looks a little thinner.
For all of your minis or like just big ones like the trees?
No, all of them.
Okay. Interesting. Do you prefer the gray primer for its neutral stance?
I would like to try out black. I just haven't gotten around to buying any black primer.
I think somewhere I have a small container of black primer and white primer. Oh yeah, they're over here. I have not used them yet. I've only used the gray so far.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never yeah, I mean this one's a light gray. Yeah, it's gray. It's gray. So I haven't used white. But I've been wanting to try black. I just haven't bought any.
I want to find get a better feel for when to use them. Like I know it effectively, like you were saying, it's sort of like underpainting. Where you can adjust it with the color of the primer. So I'd like to, figure that out.
I'm trying to think. I think Christy uses them when there's a more darker feel to the miniatures. Like if you're going to be using some darker colors, I think. Or it's also helpful with if you have characters wearing a lot of armor, like plate armor or chainmail or whatever, because it's painting it black first is a good undercoat for metal colors on top, so you get a nice little that's a Christy tip.
I had no idea. That's really cool. Okay. Well, good to know.
So Cookie, I am not I have never claimed to be a good cook. So you will not be getting any recipes from me because I either follow things or I'm a very basic cooker. I just go for very basic things. Only because I've never really, and maybe it's a me thing, but I've never really found joy in cooking. But that's also because that's how I grew up, was just my mom always just made really quick stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Gotcha.
But Cookie is asking if you have a French onion soup recipe, Dan.
Oh, French onion soup. I can probably put one together. I don't make it very frequently. I did as a sous chef. I'm trying to recall what that even entailed. It, it's one of those things where you really want to keep it simple. Give me a sec to pull myself out of multitasking mode here. I'll see if I can give you a better answer than that. All right, let me see, because I've got a collection of ones I've worked up and that I've saved over the years. So let me see if I've ever written down. A delicious, it's a dip, but it's a French onion spread recipe. You caramelize, yellow onions down so before you like mix it up with everything else. It's so good. All right, let's see. What have I got in here? Like your French onion. Now I just have some basic notes in here. The usual. Gruyere is my favorite cheese to use with it for sure. I think you can use a lot of different any kind of stringy cheese. Gouda, mozzarella, fontina. Yeah, I don't know. Keep it very, very simple. You definitely use yellow onions. I don't think sweet ones translate as well into this because they're baked down. Yeah. I have very rudimentary stuff here. Your beef stock. I usually use sherry wine. Gives a nice depth to it. Nice tang with that. Maybe a little white wine as well. I'm big about wines. Yeah. That's all I got, I think.
I'm just very impressed that you have a document like this.
I don't remember things. And so I've got so many.
Really?
So many. Orange tang. Oh no. Cookie, no. The only time I've ever seen tang work in a good way was something to do, was it shrimp? It was something outside of things I usually eat. But it tasted good. They smoked it in this. It was like a big barrel. And they had it wasn't tang, it was Sunny Delight. And that was the citrus element, this incredible seafood dish. Clean a dishwasher. Oh, cheese! Oh, cookie. That's so much citric acid in there, I guess. Yikes! Amazing. Let's take a look at Arrakis here. So let's see where we're at.
Looks so good.
Yeah, we got some details shining through here. Got the jacket set with like its base coat. Yeah, there's a lot of trim. There's some chrome. I think maybe it's black trim. It just looks chrome. So also here, of course, just this thing where they add like accentuated highlights. Like the black pants have like a yellow tinge where there would be highlights.
Oh.
The boots, yellow tinge for highlights. This black metal like shoulder bars. I think they're just, I don't know if they're metal, but they look metal because they add all this sheen and highlight on the edges. So I don't know. I just don't know. But let's see. I got some gold cuffs here. Just the black sleeves underneath, which I've got. What would be next? I guess it would be the belts. Is it almost time for you to do your thing? it's time for you to do your thing. All right. I'm gonna make that. I'm just gonna go with polished gold for that. We need sort of a, not quite a mustard yellow. Absolutely. We should most be able to stream simultaneously, not like that. Is that what you're worried about? Man, I'm not gonna really have any. These yellows. It is more like browns, isn't it? Okay. That's more of a bright. Actually, that might be the one I'm looking for. I don't know. Lori's gone. Some pretty browns maybe coming up.
What color are you looking for now?
Oh, looking for a couple of metal colors currently. Might not be the polished one. But I think Steph, I might actually wrap, because the more I look at this, the more there's like a bunch of different little detail things I'm going to need to add to this, and the colors of the base and the flame. So, yeah.
I mean, it's looking great so far.
Yeah, let me move it. Again, I have it in the wrong spot. It's all off camera.
Aw, thank you, Cookie.
Small little section.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Cookie.
Is that like
I'll get that looked at for both of you.
White stripe on his pants, or you still need to paint that in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope, that's a white stripe.
It.
There's like buttons there that are also white.
Nice.
Yep, kind of a white stripe. I'll probably put in the buttons so they're a little more prominent. We'll see. Yeah, there's Ebracus.
Love it.
Have a nice bright blue flame here soon. We'll finish up the sword. There's a boatload of details on the jacket that'll be highlighted and popping.
I love it. I like the color of the jacket.
Thanks. Yeah, it came out pretty well, and I think I'm going to add a dark wash to it. And I think that'll bring me exactly where I'd like it to be.
Yeah. Looking good.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to see all your stuff. It looks so nicely primed.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it happen.
Just have to go on these 3 and just kind of touch up, but everything else is primed and ready to paint.
Sweet. Oh, thank you, Danny. Yeah, thank you, everyone. I'll let you, since it's your jam, Steph.
Sure. Well, I mean, this was a special Paint by Minis, so we can get some work done. We're so glad that y'all were here. If you haven't followed us, please consider giving us a follow. We have a lot of content here on the channel. Usually we have Mad Indie Game Time around or a little bit earlier than this on Wednesdays. But this evening we have the Penumbra Assembly at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. In fact, I'm going to clean up this, eat, and then start planning and prepping for that this evening, I think, because I got some things to iron out. Thursdays, Drawing Dan, Paint by Minis. We have more D&D on the weekend on Saturday and Sunday with the In Extremis Obsidian Scar. All kinds of stuff. All right. Well, you know what? I wonder if, because I know that was doing a charity stream today. Art by Trisha. Oh, wait.
How exciting.
So let me see if she's still...
so.
Yep, still live.
Nice.
Art by Trisha Hall. Let's run over there and give Trisha some love.
Give a call, Mad Bird Ray.
Yes. I think that's right. Nope. Oh, it's because I didn't put the T in there. There we go. All right, give a call in the chat. Thank you all again, and hopefully we'll see you tonight for the Penumbra Assembly. Should be exciting. You'll see Dan playing that this evening. So, yeah, bye, Stabby Cell. Bye, everyone. Bye. Yeah.